Welcome to the Santa Fe Report. I'm Morrison. Well, this is part 2 of what was supposed to be a one-part video blog. Yesterday when I was recording, a big wind came up seemingly out of nowhere, and it was so strong that it blew my camera and tripod over. And my camcorder did a face plant right into the concrete, and I thought that's the end of my video blogging days. But luckily it didn't sustain any injury, so I'm very grateful for that. Yesterday I was talking about consciousness and what constitutes our level of consciousness. And I want to continue on today and finish it up. So this actually becomes part 2 of yesterday's blog. If you saw yesterday's report, I described how I believe that each person on the planet has perfect consciousness. But because of our beliefs and perspectives and our judgments, a veil is put up in front of that consciousness, and it only lets part of it shine through. And in order to attain more consciousness, it's not a matter of gaining more, it's a matter of lowering the veil of our beliefs, releasing beliefs and perspectives and judgments, in order to let more of that consciousness shine through. And there's many ways of lowering the veil. We can read books, we can attend classes, we can go through procedures. And each one of those things, to greater or lesser extents, can help us to lower the veil of unconsciousness. Now, in my own experience, over the course of years, I read hundreds of books on spirituality and consciousness, and they were all of benefit to me. And periodically, I would have an aha moment in which I had a realization that allowed me to see life differently, to give a different perspective to things. And that was all very good. But it was kind of like digging ditches. It took a long time, and I didn't seem to be getting anywhere. Now, I'm sure all those aha moments in accumulation amounted to something. Now, more recently, in the last couple of years, I participated in a program called Access Consciousness. And in those classes and workshops, it gave me the tools to help me release perspectives, to help me see things differently, and to release judgments about the way I thought life was. And those tools helped me achieve a level of consciousness that otherwise probably would have taken me years and years to achieve. So I'm very grateful to that program. Over the course of the last 8 months, I've been having seemingly spontaneous shifts of consciousness. And they've been happening approximately every 6 to 7 weeks. It's been quite interesting. And I just like to describe briefly what they've been like for me, for the most part. These shift events took 3 to 4 hours, or at least that was my perception. And maybe they went on longer and started sooner than what I perceived, but that 3 to 4 hour window was the part of the process, the part of the shift that I was able to notice. And I would just simply notice a difference, and I can't even articulate what the difference was, but I knew something was going on. I was just having this weird feeling, this weird sensation, you might say. And after these shift events had apparently wrapped up, everything seemed very surreal. And I can't articulate what it was like, but my perception seemed to be increased, and I was noticing things that I hadn't noticed before. And it was all quite strange, and it wasn't bad in any way, but it was just very odd. And in the moment, I could not tell what the shift had been about. But in the days and weeks following the shift, that I would notice that I was behaving differently, or I was thinking differently. And that's how I could tell what had changed. But in the moment itself, when the shift was taking place, I knew something was happening, but that's all that I knew. Now, the latest shift that I've had just started a couple of days ago on Thursday. And this one was significantly different than all the others. It didn't follow the same sort of format or framework. All this anger came up in me. And I wasn't angry at anyone. I was just angry. And to begin with, I just wrote it off as, well, I'm just having a bad day. This one has went on for almost 72 hours. So Thursday I had all this anger energy coming up. And that's a good thing. It was releasing. But it's not a particularly pleasant place to be. And then yesterday, Friday, the anger subsided, but I still had this tension in my body, and I was still going through the process of releasing energy. I was releasing judgment and belief. And what those judgments and beliefs are, I have no way of knowing right now, but I'll recognize them down the road as I see a change in behavior in myself and a change of thought pattern. Now, even today on Saturday, which is the third day, I'm still feeling the remnants of that energy release. I'm still going through it, but I'm pretty much out of the woods right now. So what this is all going to translate into in the real world, into how I behave and how I think, I don't know. I'll see that in the days and weeks that come. I'll notice difference in my behavior. I'll notice difference in the way I'm perceiving things. So what I would like from you folks, if you'd be willing to share, is how has it been for you when you've had a shift in consciousness? What was it like going through it? What was it like afterwards? What sort of symptoms, if you will, did you notice? And what did you notice subsequent to it in the days and weeks that followed? So if you'd be willing to do that, I would be very interested and appreciative in hearing your experience, and I know other viewers would also. I hope you folks have a good weekend. I'm Norm Morrison, and this is the Santa Fe Report. Take care, folks.